and when asked what was the saddest thing in his life about the fact that he had AIDS, you know, his own parents were afraid to touch him. His own sister was afraid to touch him. And he said, to think that I might never again have a hug. You know, and how sad that we as Christians, who are to be the salt of the earth, and we who are supposed to be able to love everyone, are afraid so badly of an AIDS patient that we will not go up and put our arm around them and tell them that we care.
Yes. I know, it is tragic, and that's the tragedy
Steve,
of the situation.
I just want to tell you something.
What's that, Tammy?
If there would have been any way, you know, I know you were sick, and that's the only reason we didn't have you come and sit in the studio next to us today, because you have your chemotherapy treatments, and you needed to get home quickly so you wouldn't miss them. But I want to tell you, there's a lot of Christians here who love you and who wouldn't be afraid to put their arm around you and tell you that we love you and that we care.
Thank you, Tammy. God bless you for saying that. I think that's a very, very important thing you're doing.
You know, Steve, doctors are desperately trying to educate the public right now. And I just pray with everything within me that the public will be educated to, you know, to be able to help. I mean, help people that have diseases such as you, not just AIDS, but that we will be able to feel comfortable around cancer patients, that we'll be able to feel comfortable around any disease that might be. You know, we're all just people. I don't know, somehow it seems like when a person gets a disease, it separates you somehow from just an ordinary person, and we don't change. You know, we get a disease, we get cancer, that doesn't change us. We're still the same person. I'm still Tammy Baker, you're still Steve Pieters.
That's right.
Thank God for a mom and dad who will stand with a young person. I think that's so important, because no matter what happens to a young person in their lives, they're still your boy, they're still your girl, no matter what happens in their life. And I think it's very important that we as mom and dads love through anything. And that's the way with Jesus, you know. Jesus loves us through anything.
Jesus loves me just the way I am. Jesus loves the way that I love.
And have you found it to be true that people want to stay away and that they're afraid to be in the same room as you and breathe the same air that you breathe?
Yes, Tammy.
And how sad is that? That we as Christians, who are supposed to love everyone, are afraid so badly of an AIDS patient that we will not go up to them and put our arm around them and tell them that we care. This is an emotional interview for me. I just met Steve, and it's like meeting him in person for the first time. I want to put my arm around you.
And I want to put my arms around you, Tammy Faye.
Right now, we are coming out of some difficult times that have been filled with a lot of trauma and isolation. And so many people out there feel hopelessness and they feel alone. And suicide is a leading cause of death in the United States. It's touched many families, it's touched mine, and especially members of the LGBTQ community who oftentimes feel out of place with their peers. We're faced with discriminatory and bigoted legislation that is sweeping our country with the only goal of further dividing us. There's violence and hate crimes being perpetuated on innocent civilians all over the world. And in times like this, I think of Tammy, and I'm inspired by her radical acts of love. We've talked about love a lot tonight. And I'm inspired by her compassion. I see it as a guiding principle that leads us forward. And it connects us all in the desire that we want to be accepted for who we are, accepted for who we love, and to live a life without the fear of violence or terror. And for any of you out there who do, in fact, feel hopeless or alone, I just want you to know that you are unconditionally loved for the uniqueness that is you. And mute.